Hello everyone, and finally, after literal centuries of waiting, the fourth part of episode 77 of Skibidi Toilet got actually released. And although I expect it to be longer than 7 minutes at least, and it turned out to be just 5 minutes long, well, nevertheless it's here, and I couldn't be more happy about it. And this part of the episode was also pretty damn juicy in terms of all the fighting and yapping. And we not only saw both the secret upgrades of Titan TV Man and the melee abilities of Astro Juggernaut, but also learnt more secrets of G-Man, who appeared by the end of this episode as expected. So today I'll tell you everything that you should know and point out to all the secrets and details that you could have easily missed on your own. What did we not know about Titan TV Man and Astro Juggernaut all this time, and why Boom was hiding it from us? What was the meaning behind the conversation between G-Man and Juggernaut, and who was this mysterious dyke they were talking about? And most importantly, what crazy cameo unexpectedly happened in this part of the episode, and why you should be hella excited about it. Now get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, where I'll answer all these questions and reveal all the secrets to you. Let's go! And be sure to also give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done this already. And now let's move on to the fourth part of episode 77. Okay, and the episode started with the scene where Titan TV Man blatantly asked for a bigger opponent to fight with. And that's where Astro Juggernaut shows up together with the bunch of other supportive Astros behind his head. And here's the funny detail that I noticed while comparing the third and the fourth parts together. At the end of the third part of the episode, it looked like Titan TV Man was eager to see an elite opponent to fight, even though Astro Juggernaut could be even more dangerous than TV Man initially expected. But at the beginning of today's part of the episode, we could notice that Titan TV Man used the exhausted emoji on his screen and tried to teleport away right at the moment after Astro Juggernaut told him, "You are not escaping this time." But unfortunately, it was obvious to me that some part of his system was damaged in the previous part where he fought a whole bunch of other Astro toilets. And I already compared him with Titan TV Man from Maxity's Skibidi saga in my analysis of the third part of episode 77, where I said how Titan TV Man from the multiverse used the special flask filled with the specific liquid that he used in order to teleport himself. And as he ran out of this liquid, he wasn't able to teleport anymore. And it is possible that something highly similar just happened to Titan TV Man in the original Skibidi Toilet series, or maybe some part of his system was just badly messed up with, and that's why when he tried to teleport, it simply took a really long time, and Astro Juggernaut had all the time in this world to stop him from escaping. So he simply pushes TV Man away from the teleportation area, and our dude immediately activates the shield on his left hand in order to protect himself. But unfortunately, the melee power of Astro Juggernaut is way too strong. So he destroys the purple energy shield in just 2 swings. And when Titan TV Man tried to answer to this with the melee attack of his right hand, it simply wasn't powerful enough to even go through Juggernaut's block. This bro is crazy strong in the melee fight, as apparently this is his main strength, so it doesn't look good for our Titan at all. And after that, the Astro answered with an even heavier punch that simply stunned Titan TV Man. And that with a series of sharp and heavy attacks, he pushed him far away where the fire line has ended. And as Titan TV Man was getting back on his feet, Astro Juggernaut yelled, "Pathetic!" and started powering up his right-hand cannon to simply obliterate our brother with its shot. But there was one thing that he definitely didn't expect, and it's the upgrade that Titan TV Man was hiding all this time. So it turned out that Titan TV Man also had one of the Astro Detainer's claws that he was hiding inside of his back placeholder. And 2, the very same claws were already attached on TV Man Polycephaly's body, which we could see in the third part of the episode and earlier as well. So with the usage of this claw, Titan TV Man pulled closer Juggernaut's terrific shot, and then accelerated it back to him with the sassy emoji on his screen and the word "surprise." And although Astro Juggernaut was quick enough to reach and close himself with the shield, the impact of the explosion was so huge that it even affected the POV cameraman and his camera that was recording everything that happened in front of it. And I must also say that keeping this one upgrade of Titan TV Man in secret definitely turned out to be fruitful, as it caught Astro soldiers off guard. But on the other hand, I expected more of TV Man's upgrades, and thankfully, it was not the only one that came in hand. But in any case, there was also one more detail that I've noticed. Right now, the physical amount of damage that Titan TV Man's is giving to his Astro opponents is pretty lacking, and the battle with Astro Juggernaut showed it the most. But when it was time to finally reveal the actual Astro Toilet's technology in use, it showed just astronomical results, as it really affected Juggernaut with its impact, so it would be much more logical to keep using more Astro technologies against their former makers, right? Because Astro toilets could actually not expect that their enemies would adapt to their weapons and technologies that easily. So it would require more time from them to develop some sort of resistance or even anti-weapons against their own kind of inventions. But apparently, I am thinking through a way more ground type of things than Titan TV Man, because our guy is still behaving in his own sort of way, I suppose. So instead of following any strategy or tactics that I just pointed out, he kept engaging in melee fights with the stunned Astro Juggernaut, even though previously we could see that his own physical damage is nearly useless against an opponent like this. So why the hell would Titan TV Man behave in this sort of way? Is he really blinded by the rage of the battle? Or maybe he does it on some specific purpose? In any case, Titan TV Man jumps right at the stunned Juggernaut while apparently trying to beat him to a pulp in melee. But his opponent gets to his senses really quick and starts blasting the overconfident Titan instead. With just 2 hits, he manages to push him away and get on his feet again, and then we're getting revealed something crazy. It turns out that Titan planned his risky move in order to not only damage Juggernaut in closer fight, but to also steal one of his own weapons. So in the next scene, we can see that he managed to pierce the right arm of the Astro with his blade and also steal his blaster cannon, which is just an insane move if you'll ask me. And he's obviously happy that he managed to pull this through based on his happy TV screen at this moment. And without wasting any time, Titan TV Man blasts Juggernaut with his own weapon. And even though the Astro managed to use his shield once again, the impact of his cannon's missile with it was still crazy strong and obviously damaged Juggernaut a lot. And by the way, in this frame, I noticed something really interesting. Didn't the editing in this place seem a little bit weird to you guys? As if something was cut and then re-edited. And my guess is that Boom had to cut and remake some parts of this episode in order to release it on time. And the battle between Titan TV Man and Astro Juggernaut was probably supposed to be longer and more epic. Or maybe someone else was supposed to intervene in this moment, but Boom decided to leave it to the full version of the episode. Plus, do you guys remember that initially the 4th part of the episode was supposed to be around 7 minutes long and definitely not 5? Well, it was basically confirmed by Boom himself recently that this part of the episode was supposed to be longer, as that's what he wrote to Stake just when he was about to drop this video on his channel. The thing is, I left out the craziest part for the full episode. I planned to cook it up all in part 4, but didn't finish the last part entirely, so it will come out in the full episode. And although I am really curious why the whole month wasn't enough for Mr. Boom to finish the 4th part of the episode the way he wanted, I still have high expectations for the full episode, as he mentioned, and he'll probably remake some parts from the last part just as he did with episode 76, so we'll see something really interesting soon. And also, after the explosion comes down, we can see the POV's hands that he slowly moves in order to get up himself. Meanwhile, Astro Juggernaut arises as well and says, "You dare use my weapon against me?" Which is obviously a reference to Severus Snape from the movie Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince, who said, "You dare use my own spells against me, Potter?"
You dare use my own spells against me, Potter.
To which Titan TV Man sarcastically says, "Womp womp gonna cry?" Which looked like another movie reference, but this time to a film called Spider-Man 3, where Tobey Maguire told the same sassy line.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry?
And then something pretty interesting happens. Astro Juggernaut decides to pull out the same move that Titan TV Man intended to make at the very beginning of the episode, as he plans to just quit the battle with the words, "I'll see you soon." And then he uses his ultrasound speed and just disappears from our eyes. And apparently Titan TV Man really believed that his opponent decided to quit that easily, so he just lowers the stolen Astro Blaster down and utters coward. But it all turned out to be a trap from Juggernaut's side. And unfortunately, our Titan failed to see through it, although the trap was pretty damn obvious in my opinion. So I'm really doubting Titan TV Man's cleverness at this point, because he behaves really immature in this fight. And trust me, it really could have been resulted better if TV Man acted smarter. Well, in any case, Titan TV Man starts teleporting away himself. And we already know that it takes quite a while for him in the current state. And in this exact moment, Astro Juggernaut strikes him again and literally punches him into the ground while catching him off guard. And then he harshly commands him to get up. Apparently, Astro Juggernaut was so mad at TV Man for humiliating him that he wanted to give him a taste of his own medicine right away, And even though he tells him to get up, in fact, Juggernaut doesn't provide TV Man this opportunity and strikes him with the heavy punch once again, and after that he removes all the juicy upgrades that the Titan just got for himself, counting both the Astro Detainer's claw and the stolen blaster cannon of his own possession. And after that he commands Titan TV Man to get up once again, and man, the Titan really got himself in the crazy dangerous situation, huh? And it all happened because of his own foolishness. And I know what you guys can say. Hey Isso, don't be so harsh, man. What if almost losing to a Juggernaut was a part of his plan as well? And to that I can tell you something, guys. Even if his plan was to lure out Titan G-Man into helping him on the battlefield and fighting the powerful Astro soldiers that could have recognized him as traitor, he still could have done it much more smoothly and also saved some other stolen Astro's technologies for the Alliance later. But instead, he just wasted all these opportunities. But that's just my opinion. And what do you guys think about it? And after that, Astro Juggernaut pulls an even crazier move as he removes TV Man's purple blade from his arm and then sticks it into his own TV screen while shattering it completely. And then, as if it wasn't enough already, he removes the main TV screen of his while knocking it on the ground with his stone-heavy fists. And after that, he says, "Underwhelming slaughter." And, don't get me wrong, guys, I'm still the Alliance team and stuff, but Juggernaut was actually quite right in this case. The fight that Titan TV Man put out in this part of the episode really wasn't up his usual standards, in my opinion. And then, as Juggernaut still holds the TV Man's screen in his hands, he looks right into the viewer's eyes and asks, "That was your strongest soldier?" And in this exact moment, the Headless TV Man decided to come back with vengeance, and he just pierces the Juggernaut's head helmet as well with his sword, catching him off guard as well. And that looked pretty damn sick. And the Headless TV Man who was still fighting also looked hella creepy. And it seems to me that he wasn't lying at all when in the previous parts of the episode, he mentioned how it wasn't possible to kill an already dead man, because he himself is a prime example to that phrase. And even though Juggernaut removes this blade pretty quick, TV Man then proceeds with blasting his face with the purple core flame, but unfortunately this ultimate attack still wasn't enough to destroy the elite Astro soldier like him. So Juggernaut knocks his opponent on the ground once again and then says, "Stay down! Resistance is futile." Although this phrase sounded really funny to me considering how this Astro himself was on literal fire due to all the injuries he had to endure in this fight. And after this phrase, someone finally shows up to help Titan TV Man in this hopeless battle. And it's the Skibidi toilets from the G-Man squad, who start a heated-up skirmish with the Astro Obliterators from the Juggernaut's team that clearly didn't expect it at all. And aside from all the elite members of G-Squad that showed up earlier in this episode, do you see one very unexpected face? Well, check out this tiny frame that I managed to pull out of this episode, and it's the same bald Skibidi toilet with glasses and yellow shirt that he dropped to one more animator's Discord DMs earlier. And apparently this sassy guy is a reference to the blogger named Anthony Fantano, who is famous for being bald, wearing yellow shirts and glasses like this. And although I don't really know how Skibidi Toilet and the most popular music critic on YouTube may be connected, but Boom clearly sees this connection more than I do. Okay, and then we see the Gym Bro mutant who uses the loudspeaker to command the rest of his squad apparently. So that might mean that he is the semi-leader now after G-Man. And I can also say it in general that Skibidi Toilets probably planned this attack even before Titan TV Man showed up, just based on how cooperative and confident they all are in contrast to Astro Toilets, who look totally baffled and out of touch with reality. Just check out that massive distanced attack from Skibidi that they launched onto one of the Astros. That definitely looked like a throw-through operation to me. And then something even crazier was shown to us. After one of the flying Astro toilets got put down, we saw another buffed Skibidi mutant attacking another Astro. But it was all just a distraction of us as viewers from something that actually mattered. And it's the Skibidi scientist puppet that got back to the battlefield, which was really crazy. And we can see that this puppet is as strong as ever while being equipped with all sorts of powerful armory and weaponry such as blaster cannons, thick lasers, strider legs, and astro-like claws. And one question remains as one of the most important right now. Who is operating this puppet though? Because we know that it can't be Skibidi Scientist himself for sure, as he got destroyed at the end of episode 70, and deservingly so, as he did a lot of bad things towards the majority of the Alliance's members that had a huge grudge against him. But after the first part of episode 73, we know that not only Skibidi scientists can operate his puppet. For example, TV Woman was already piloting him at that episode in order to emotionally hit G-Man like a truck and catch him off guard. So what if right now the Jimmy Squad is following the similar strategy, only this time some Skibidi toilet is operating Skibidi scientist's puppet? And you know what? I even have a suggestion about who this pilot might be, because we saw plenty of G-Squad members on the battlefield, but you know who was actually missing? It's Skibidi Kleiner. Although we definitely know that he's supposed to be here as well, and him and G-Man was shown as pretty close squad members in episode 74. The little guy even sat on his shoulder like a poppy, which speaks volumes to me. So what if G-Man decided to give him this really important role of operating Skibidi scientist's puppet to strike even more chaos on the battlefield and probably baffle the Astro toilets as well? This seems to be a really plausible option to me. So Astro Juggernaut is observing everything that was happening on the battlefield right now, as well as Titan TV Man, who got up on his feet once again despite being literally headless at this point. The Astro Soldier then yells, "That changes nothing," and knocks TV Man into the flames again, while also adding, "Soon you will meet your fate, worse than death." And this phrase tells me that apparently Juggernaut realizes that it is not possible to destroy Titan TV Man for good, as he already foretold that it is impossible to already kill a dead man. So, probably Astro will decide to come out with some ideas to win their immortal opponents in different ways. And those ways can indeed be pretty horrifying. But this is just vain words at this point, as nothing is decided for sure yet. So I just hope that the Alliance will come up with something to oppose the Astro faction quicker than their enemies. Okay, but while Astro Juggernaut was throwing all these threats into Titan TV Man, something much more interesting has been happening behind his back. No other than upgraded G-Man was crawling at Juggernaut behind his back while being invisible, but unfortunately his, invisibility seems to be wearing off every second, which looked unserious as hell. And either he got this technique from the elite TV Man, who also managed to turn invisible at the beginning of episode 74 when he infiltrated the last Skibidi toilet base, or from the secret agent himself. Because, as you can remember, all the apprentices of the secret agent were able to use this ability to conceal themselves completely and trick their former comrades into thinking that they were gone forever. But I think that the idea of G-Man being connected to the secret agent is pretty huge, so I'll make a separate video dedicated to this theory. And for now, let's get back to the episode. So G-Man finally gets closer to Juggernaut, who somehow didn't hear him coming even despite all the clunky ah noises that he was making, and sarcastically told him, "Missed me?" And okay guys, where do I even start here? First of all, what kind of drip are you dude wearing? I expected some totally badass appearance, but instead, Jimmy looks more like my grandpa who decided to look hip in his recent old people's meeting. G-Man definitely doesn't look like a guy who's been upgraded in some fancy TV men's lab, that's for sure. So I think that he upgraded himself using his own Skibidi minions and all the resources that he probably dug up in the nearby trash pile, and that could have explained his worn-out look. But what's really important, though, is that he actually replaced his missing right eye with the fake one, just as I predicted. And besides that, he also seems to be strangely pleased with his upgrades despite their goofy appearance. So I probably underestimated this guy. Okay, but meanwhile, the following conversation occurs between him and Astro Juggernaut. So the Astro says, "What made you show up, Commander?" To which Jimmy sassily replies with, "You know me, I'm not leaving my best friends behind." And the way he said it really made me doubt whether he actually meant Astro toilets, Skibidi toilets, or maybe even Titan TV Man himself. And speaking of him, the guy is still alive and lying like a used pile of trash in the background, which isn't even trying to engage in the fight. And TV Man says, "What are you yapping about?" And it made me think that either Titan TV Man didn't expect Jimmy to show up at all and expected the Speakerman's armada instead of him and G-Squad, or he expected him to show up but much earlier. And now he's really confused about at least one of these things. Meanwhile, Astro Juggernaut just ignores TV Man's words and keeps addressing G-Man while saying, "Duke won't forgive your betrayal. You don't stand a chance against our fleet." And that's where it gets really interesting. Who is this Duke guy? And why Juggernaut is addressing him as if this guy is on top of Astro Toilet's hierarchy? Isn't it Astro Mothership who is supposed to be on top? And is this Duke connected to Astro Duchess due to her name? This all is really freaking interesting to me. And in response to which G-Man sarcastically says, "Really? That's crazy!" And then he attacks Juggernaut out of nowhere with his detachable cannons while also saying, "One small issue, I don't remember asking." And then he puts his new shiny protective glasses on his face and starts a huge fight with Juggernaut. And I also wonder, what is this small metal detail on his forehead, and can it mean something? In any case, G-Man seems to be very confident about this battle, even though his glasses fall off literally after the first attack Juggernaut replied him with. And then the Astro asks his former commander, "That's all Earth gave you? What's left of your former glory?" But to this burn, G-Man just keeps smiling sassily and also responds with, "Try me." And then both of them zoom out somewhere far away, and we can see now that G-Man also is capable of ultra speed ability, which confirms 100% that he used to be a member of Astro Faction in his past. Meanwhile, the battle still is not over for the G-Squad, who stayed on their initial positions, as more Astro toilets arrive to the scene, including this huge Astro toilet, who doesn't look happy at all. Which means that we'll probably see another epic fight here. And probably that's when the Speakerman's Armada will finally show up and kick these Astros' medals. But Titan TV Man and the POV will definitely not be participating in it, as both of them teleport away. And probably they'll arrive to the TV Men's laboratory or in the Alliance's base in general. So I'll be waiting for the full version of the episode next in order to see more epic stuff that Boom didn't have time to include in the fourth part. And that was all for today. Write in the comments below about how excited you are to see the full version of episode 77, and be sure to subscribe to my channel not to miss my new videos. And also to my Discord, where you can contact me directly and get lots of info for my subscribers only. And that was me, IsoToilet. See ya!